what made you choose to sail at Georgetown University?
That's a great question. I think like one thing that Mike says is you really don't come to Georgetown to sail, you come there to go to school. And that was really one reason I came here. Sailing was a peripheral thing for me, and it was great that Georgetown has an incredible team and a great coach. It really just made my decision that much easier.
Well, I wanted to go to a school where I knew I would get a lot of time sailing as a freshman, and where the students were really involved and really dedicated, and I think GW ended up being the perfect fit for me. I got to go away almost every weekend, which was perfect because that's what I wanted to do, and I got to sail a lot at big events, and I got to meet a really tight group of people that became really good friends.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about how the tactics are different in this type of racing versus junior sailing, where you have bigger courses and different boats?
So in the junior sailing, it's much more a open water type of racing where it'll be half-hour, 1 mile-long beats, and it's much more boat speed where it's only a few tacks a beat, and so when you go to the college scene, it's much more about the start and your first beat tactics and kind of big aggressive boat handling, and you have to condense those tactics into instead a 2-minute beat instead of a 30-minute beat.
I started coaching in 1998, and when I started coaching we had a good team, a lot of talent, but we didn't necessarily treat ourselves as a varsity sport even though we were, so we kind of instituted rules for ourselves where we held ourselves more accountable, and we also tried to go to a bunch of regattas that we knew we could win off the start, and then we started to win the small level regattas, and we created what I like to call the culture of winning. So we would win, and then we moved on to the next level, win those, and so the expectation was when you go to regatta you're supposed to win, as opposed to in the past where it was go to regatta and just compete.
In the next 5 years, I'd love to see GW sailing become a varsity sport and continue to compete on the level it's at, and maybe even be a little more competitive. We're already, we're one of the top club teams in the Mesa Mid-Atlantic Division, and I'd really love to see us up there competing with the top varsity teams.
Georgetown has very high goals every year in terms of race results. How do you guys sort of go about your business as a team? How do you describe the team mentality that allows you to succeed?
We have a philosophy called As One, where we all try and work towards this exact same goal of just making the entire team better. Try and make boat 18 better, they push boat 17 to get better, and so on and so forth, and that kind of pushes all the way up the team, and kind of keeps the pressure on those top boats to keep working harder and keep getting better.
How do you maintain focus over an incredibly long season compared to other sports, September all the way to June? How do you maintain your edge?
That is the hard part, and I don't know that we necessarily always do every year. You try to peak at the right time, but there's 2 times to peak. It's peaking when you're qualifying for nationals, because that's always tough, and peaking at the national championship. So
I think it's really fun kind of being able to do other things than just schoolwork and sort of campus activities, like getting away from campus like a few days a week and being able to go to all these cool venues just in the region, and going to like Virginia and all the way up to Boston and New York and things like that has been really cool about being an athlete, and being able to go out and see different things, and also being part of a team and being able to come in your freshman year and like basically have a group of people that you know are like gonna have your back and you're gonna get to know really well over the years. So.
And you guys have done a great service to other developing club teams in the area, especially GW, sort of helping them develop. Why were you guys so willing to sort of take them in and sort of help them grow?
Yeah, I mean, I think both myself and Mike Callahan, our head coach, have been pretty involved in administrative levels of the conference, and really recognizing that having more really good competitive teams in our conference benefits Georgetown and college sailing as a whole. And that's really what we are trying to do by helping out GW or American or any other team that really wants to come down and sail in this area.
When high school sailors come to you asking about your team, what do you tell them their thought process should be when selecting a college to sail at?
Sure. What I always tell them first off is that they don't come to college to sail. You come to college to get an education. Any school that has sailing, they'll have a great time doing sailing in college. They'll love it. They'll become really good sailors. Sailing takes up a lot of your time, but it doesn't take up all your time. So the criteria you should use to look at colleges is, first of all, go to the school, see if you like the kids that are there, see if you feel comfortable on that campus as a place where you can live for 4 years. Then obviously you think about academics, what do you want to do, or if you don't know what you want to do, pick a school that gives you a lot of options. and then think about climate, think about big city or small town, all that kind of stuff. And then you can use sailing as maybe a tiebreaker. The school has sailing, the school doesn't. The school is club, the school is varsity, the school has 5 coaches, the school has 1. But it's way down the list of things you should look at.
So, in terms of being nationally competitive, what is the most successful team at Georgetown?
Oh, the sailing team, for sure.
How many championships has the basketball team won?
The basketball team has won 1, and we've won 7 of Georgetown's 8 total national championships.
Yeah.
I think that, as Mike said, would be our time. 1, 2, 3.
As one! Shotgun Barney.